Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll chant Bhaja Govindam, Shloka number 25 to 31.
Shatro mitre putre bandau ma kuru yatnam vigraha sandau sarvasminnapi pashyatmanam sarvatro sruja vedajnanam Kamam krodham lobham moham tyaktvatmanam pashyati soham Atmajnana vihina mudha te pachyante narakanigudhaha Geyam Gita nama sahasram deyam Shripati rupamajasram Neyam sajjana sange chittam deyam dina janaya chavittam Sukhata kriyate rama bhogaha paschadanta sharire rogaha Yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi namunchati papacharanam Atmanattam bhavaya nityam nasti tata sukalesha satyam Putradapi dhana bhajam bhitihi sarvatraisha vihitariti Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya nitya viveka vicharam Japya sameta samadhi vidhanam kurvavadanam mahadavadanam Guru charanambuja nirbarasaktaha samsaradachirat bhavamuktaha SendriyamanasaniyamadevamDrakshasi nijahridayastam devam.
So we have in the class done up to shloka number 30. We just have one more shloka to go to conclude the Bhaja Govindam text. So in the last 4 shlokas of the Bhaja Govindam, again Adi Shankara speaks. It is said that the first shloka is a chorus and the next 12 shlokas were given by Adi Shankara, and then after that 14 shlokas were given by each disciple. And then from 27 to 31, again Adi Shankara gives the summary of what he wanted to say and bless the students to reach the highest potential that a human being can reach. See, a human being, though in the human form, can also function at the level of a mineral, highly tamasic. Minerals hardly express any emotions. There's no emotions there. There's hardly any activity. If at all something that happens in minerals, it's just something, change happens. Otherwise there is nothing, and that also takes a long time. So it's akin to tamas, laziness, indolent. So we are, many of us are like the minerals, extremely tamasic. So such people, Swami Ramtirtha calls them as mineral men, mineral human being. Human beings, they look like human beings, but they are more like mineral. Then next level is, he says, vegetable kingdom. Vegetable kingdom, if you see, they grow unilaterally. They grow upwards. And they can't move from one place to another. So even if there is water just 20 meters away, they cannot go and help themselves. They are dependent on somebody or the other. So like that, some people are extremely dependent. They are better than mineral kind of people, but they are also extremely dependent, only constantly sucking, taking, etc. So such people, Swami Ramtita says, are like vegetable. He calls them vegetable beings. Then comes animal-like people. Animals, they move. They can go to few miles to drink water. They migrate to different countries. They are not that dependent as plant kingdom, but they are also to some extent dependent, and they are very attached to their own clan, So there is tremendous attachment seen in animal kingdom. They have a lot of emotions and not having control over the emotions. They are emotional. So a lot of human beings are like that. Such people he calls them as animal beings, animal men, And then comes rare species, human man. A person is looking like human being, is a human being and behaves like a human being also. Meaning you have emotions, but you should keep the emotions under your control, not be rajasic. Animals are highly rajasic. So you cannot be tamasic, you cannot be rajasic. You have to behave like a human being. Have emotions, keep them under your control. Be balanced. And once you have reached that state, your identification is towards all the human beings, and slowly you can take the identification to all other species. You can identify with the Atma within. You can inquire. Only human beings have the subtle intellect. Animals, they have rudimentary gross intellect. They don't have gross intellect. For all practical purposes, we say they have rudimentary gross intellect. Intellect is of two types. When you analyze within the realm of the world, when the discrimination is within the terrestrial world, you are using gross intellect. When you are discriminating between terrestrial world and transcendental, you are using subtle intellect. The question about, after observing through gross intellect, we observe that everything is governed by cause and effect relationship. If everything is governed by cause and effect relationship, who is maintaining this cause and effect? So this question a human being alone asks. You don't find any animals asking this question. And positing God or divinity. See, even an atheist also conceives of something beyond this world. After conceiving, he or she rejects such a possibility. He also or she also conceives of God and then say, no, such a possibility is not there. So they reject it, but they conceive. Similarly, the believers, they conceive and they believe. So it's the only human kingdom, that can conceive of something beyond this terrestrial realm. So every time you conceive something beyond your terrestrial realm and keep your thoughts discriminating in that area, you're using subtle intellect. So that subtle intellect, animals don't have. Even gross intellect they don't have. They are only rudimentary. They can discriminate between male and a female, what is edible, what is not edible, etc. Beyond that they cannot. So, human being alone has the capacity to reflect over Atma and ultimately achieve Atma, self, consciousness. When you train an elephant in circus to do puja, in the circus the elephants do puja. But elephants are not conceiving of God and then doing puja. They are trained to do puja. You understand? Whereas human beings conceive of something higher. So Adi Shankara says a human being can grow to that height which is reaching the Godhead within. Then you will become God man, God being, God-like being. Meaning you have attained divinity. Then you identify with the entire universe. You radiate with love. Such height we can grow up to, So, three most important facets are there in life. One is action, other is growth, the third is consciousness, pure consciousness or awareness. These three have to be there. Now, we have to grow. So, from mineral level, tamas, we have to grow to little better, go to vegetable, slightly tamasic and rajasic, then go to highly rajasic animals, then come to real human level which is sattvic, real human level, then go to beyond sattva which is God realization or self realization. That's the height a human being can reach. So why should you stop at any level? So Vedanta says you got to keep growing. And the efforts have to be in that direction. Throughout your life, your motto should be to eradicate tamas, eradicate rajas, increase sattva, and go beyond sattva. Because when you bring yourself to 100% sattva, sattva alone cannot exist without rajas and tamas. So 100% sattva, you will go beyond sattva and you will attain trans-sattvic state, guna atita state, nirguna state, which is Brahman Atman. You will realize the self. That is what we call as moksha or liberation, self-realization, enlightenment, mukti. All these are synonyms. So the goal of life according to Vedanta is to achieve that mukti, to achieve that liberation. If possible in this Janma itself. If not, at least increase sattva in this Janma. So at the end of the day, what we take forward from one Janma to another, only the permutation combination of our gunas. Whatever amount of sattva, rajas, tamas we have, that alone we carry forward to the next Janma. You understand? We don't carry forward anything else. You only carry forward that. So therefore, you must work in that direction. And when you work in that direction, even if you have not realized the self, you don't have to worry. In the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, I think verse number 40, he says, Nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Once you have put in efforts in the direction of the self-realization, good work you have done, work towards Shreya, what is good for you, nothing will go waste. You begin from where you leave. So therefore, you have to constantly work on increasing sattva. So therefore, absolute goal we can fix as enlightenment or self-realization. Relative goal we should fix as self-development. Compared to yesterday, today my tamas should be less, rajas should be less, sattva should be more. Compared to today, tomorrow my tamas and rajas should be less and sattva should be more. Work in that direction. Keep that goal and work. And when your sattva increases, you will find yourself being very calm, collected, serene, able to function much better in the world, will be able to be more prosperous and peaceful, and also will be able to maintain beautiful relationships. You will have excellent productivity, prosperity, peace within, and harmony without. So therefore, the only thing you got to make sure is keep on increasing sattva. Now, anything that will help you to increase sattva becomes your do's. Anything that will unnecessarily increase your tamas and rajas becomes your don't. You understand? Whatever will help you to increase sattva become your do's. Whatever will help in increasing tamas and rajas, reduce or are not so conducive for increasing sattva becomes don't. Remember this. Thus you should function. So, in shloka number 27, he said, what will remove vasanas? Remember the formula we discussed. God plus vasanas or desires equals human beings. Human beings minus vasanas equals God. God plus vasanas equals human beings. Human beings minus vasanas equals Godhead. So the purpose of life is what? To decrease tamas, rajas, increase sattva, reduce vasanas. First change the quality of vasanas from tamas and rajas to sattva, then go beyond sattvic vasanas also and realize the self. Further, what you have to do? What will help in dealing with ignorance? Only knowledge will help. So therefore, you must study Bhagavad Gita, Sahasranama, he says. He just gives example. Doesn't mean you should study only Bhagavad Gita and Sahasranama. Bhagavad Gita is nothing but the summary of Upanishads, which is Vedanta. So Bhagavad Gita and Sahasranama should be chanted. Form of the Lord of Lakshmi always meditated upon. You should do Upasana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and the mind associated with the good and wealthy given to the needy. Physically, you should be involved in charitable disposition activities, service, and your mind should always be associated with good company and then gain the knowledge through devotional practices. Also, you follow devotion. So, karma, bhakti, gyan, all is covered in this shloka number 27. Then 28 he says, one happily takes to carnal pleasure, alas, later on the body becomes diseased, although death is the end in the world, even then one does not leave his sinful ways. So he wants to caution the humanity, saying that it is very difficult. The sense pleasures give you instant joy, so they attract you, they tend to pull you, they tend to pull you. So you got to really keep this in mind, because you can put in efforts for years together and just get involved in one activity and then lose all your tapas. The best example for that is Vishwamitra, sage Vishwamitra. We all know the story of sage Vishwamitra. He has done tremendous tapasya. Sage Vishwamitra was first Maharaj, a king. His name was Kaushika Maharaj. Kaushik. When he came to know, he had gone for some war against some other kingdom, and after conquering the battle, he was returning back, and he saw on the way sage Vasishji's ashram. So Vasishji came out and welcomed the king and the entire army. Said, please take rest here, we'll serve you food. And the king was surprised as to how the ashram can serve food for all the entire army. But Vasishji had Kamadhenu cow, as per the story. And Kamadhenu supplied tremendous food, everything. And Vishwamitra, who was Kaushika Maharaj, king, the king asked the sage, I'll take this cow with me, because this will serve the whole kingdom rather than being just in the ashram. Vasisht Muni said, please take if she comes. But she wouldn't go. Then Vishwamitra was forcing the cow. The cow would not go. And the cow and the entire army had a battle. And apparently the cow won the battle. Then Vishwamitra, or Kaushik Maharaj till then, understood that worldly strength and power is useless in front of the real power that a sage can get through realization. So he said, I will also go and gain that state. And he turned into a Muni. He did tremendous tapas. He was called as Vishwamitra. After doing so much of tapas, he'll get involved in something or the other. It is mentioned as if he got involved in Menaka. Swamiji says Vishwamitra could have taken care of 25,000 Menakas. You understand? But he wanted to put himself in a situation to educate us. The danger of sense objects in the world. The sense objects are too powerful. We have to be very careful, especially carnal pleasure. When it comes to pleasure that we derive through the bodily pleasures, the carnal pleasure, it involves all the five senses. Since it involves all the five senses, it is more powerful and more dangerous. So he cautions, one happily takes to carnal pleasure, alas, later on the body becomes diseased, although death is the end in the world, even then one does not leave his sinful ways. So he wants to say that, the pleasures, this joy that we experience in this world, however superior it may seem to be, it is intercepted by sorrow. It's like, when you go to buy pan in a shop, especially you are making it as a parcel, in South India and all, they have, as it is, pan has a leaf which you can eat. But there is another leaf which is not edible. He will pack this pan in that leaf. Supposing you don't know, and you put that together with that leaf will be very core and hard, So if you put the pan, as you are chewing, you'll have to spit it out, every now and then. This is how we are experiencing joy in this world. Pleasure followed by tremendous pain, followed by little pleasure, more pain. Like this we are going through. That Adi Shankara is cautioning us. He says there is this state within you which is your original self, which is infinite happiness, which doesn't create vasana. You would have exhausted the vasanas. So in this world, death is the end and you will create more vasanas, creating agitations. And then this is with reference to Kamini, pleasures he cautioned, enjoyment. The next motivation that really everybody gets caught up is wealth. You remember in the beginning Adi Shankara was saying, everybody should be seeking liberation, moksha, And instead of that, what people seek is acquisition and enjoyment. Simply acquisition, enjoyment, acquisition, enjoyment. Nothing else. Throughout our life, only this. What do? We want to attain what we have not attained, and we want to preserve what we have attained. This is what technically in Bhagavad Gita he calls it as, Sri Krishna calls it as yoga and kshema. We are interested in yoga. Yoga means not union with the self, union with the material wealth, attaining what we have not attained. And kshema means retaining or preserving what we have attained. All life goes in this. Isn't it? Whole life, entire time is consumed in this. When all these are frivolous, temporary, passing, fleeting. So therefore Adi Shankara wants to say, don't waste your time in all this. Pursue the Atma. So in the next sloka, 28 he says, Artham anartham bhavaya nityam. In that sloka he says, wealth is calamitous, reflect all the time. Truly there is not the least happiness from it. The wealthy fear even the sun. This is how it is ordained everywhere. So what he wants to say is, don't be a hoarder of wealth. He is not against wealth. He is only saying wealth is important only for transactional purpose in this world. Beyond this it is not helpful. Wealth cannot give you happiness, it cannot give you love, it cannot give you knowledge. It cannot give you anything subtle. But it can help you in the transactional purpose. Like if you want to attend this class, you should minimum have a phone through which you can attend this online class. So wealth will help you for all that. But beyond that, it won't help you. So therefore he says, these are all temporary, men. Seek something permanent. Understand that Atma alone is permanent. Don't get involved in all these things. After getting involved, you will be afraid because they will be taken away from you one day. So you'll even be afraid of your own son because that fellow is waiting to take away your wealth. And he says, this is how everybody suffers in this world without really understanding how the law works. So you should rather seek the higher, lower will be added to you rather than running after the lower. To understand these slokas deeply, you can go back to those slokas and listen to that sloka once again. Now, when I'm only doing the summary, you see, before I go to the 31st sloka, which is the last sloka. Then, in the 30th sloka, he gave certain sadhanas. Adi Shankara says, pranayamam pratyaharam. Regulation of pranas, all life activities. Withdrawal from sense activity. So in other words, what he wants to say is, have regulation in everything, in eating, sleeping, talking, walking, exercise, studying, even studying Vedanta. In everything there has to be regulation. Pranayama generally means control of pranas, which is nothing but the physiological functions. But it's not just doing pranayama, that yoga, pranayama exercise. It is regulating all life's activities and withdrawal from the sense activity, meaning only contacting the sense activity for the transactional purpose. Beyond that, your focus should be on the higher. Focus on distinction between eternal and ephemeral. Nitya, anitya. What is permanent, what is impermanent. Always be focusing on what is permanent. And then, through that, you would have developed a lot of vairagya. Then you will be able to do a lot of japa, practice of chanting and meditation, silencing the mind. These perform with care, with great care. Do not be in a hurry. Do not be in a hurry. You will get there. All you need to do is do these sadhanas. See, all he wants to say is, what will help you to gain liberation by eliminating ignorance? Knowledge. But to gain that knowledge, you need to be qualified. That will come through sadhana, that will come through bhakti yoga, karma yoga. Karma yoga will offload the bulk of your desires. Bhakti yoga will change the quality of your desires. And jnana yoga will establish you in the higher. And then you will be able to do meditation. Through meditation, you can realize the self. So, you have to go through this path. Therefore, he is saying, focus on sadhana, focus on karma yoga, focus on bhakti yoga, get qualified, then focus on jnanam, then you get established in jnanam through constant assertion and negation. When you reflect over what is permanent, what is impermanent, what is permanent, what is impermanent. What are we doing? Once we complete a chapter or a book, we go to the next chapter or next book. Same message is given from different angles. But why we do that? We have to constantly reflect, so that our mind develops vairagya, true detachment, true renunciation, not false renunciation. Then we are able to understand what the world can give, what we need to search for. Then we really will be seeking the divinity, not the frivolous, ephemeral world. We'll only be in the ephemeral world to the extent we need to. Beyond that, our mind and energy will be directed towards the higher. Then we will get established in knowledge. Then we'll be able to do more meditation, and through meditation we can realize the self. This is the idea. So, now in the concluding shloka, he talks about the importance of the Guru and the teachings of the Guru, which one should follow meticulously till one is liberated. Till one is liberated, we need Guru. So, and through Guru's knowledge and blessings, in the direct supervision of the Guru, we will be able to get back to the self. So he explains that, and he blesses us to work towards self-liberation, self-realization. So let's chant shloka number 31 together.
Guru Charanambuj Nirbarasaktaha Samsaradachirat Bhavamuktaha Sendriyamanasaniyamadevam Drakshasi Nijahridayastam Devam.
Guru Charana Ambuja, he says. You should surrender to the lotus feet of the Guru. Guru Charan means the feet of the Guru. Surrender to the feet of the Guru. He puts an adjective. He says lotus feet of the Guru. You should surrender to the lotus feet of the Guru. Surrendering to the lotus feet of the Guru, the devotee, the Shishya, soon becomes liberated from samsara, terrestrial entanglement. Thus, through the control of senses and mind, you will behold the Lord seated in your heart. See, the word Guru is a combination of two words, Gu and Ru. Gu means darkness. Ru means remover. So Guru literally means remover of darkness. What can remove darkness? Only light can remove darkness. So when he talks about darkness, he's talking about spiritual darkness. What is the spiritual darkness? Ignorance of the self. You understand? So that ignorance of the self is removed by the Guru. So Guru is one who removes the ignorance through knowledge. And in the Upanishads, Guru is talked about as one who is well versed in the knowledge and established in the knowledge and lives by that knowledge. Stotriyam Brahmanishtam. One who is established in knowledge and is very well versed in knowledge. So, the role Guru plays is something very, very vital. Even in general life, the role played by teachers is very vital. But when it comes to spiritual path, it's even more vital. Because we are dealing with a lot of unknown factors. And, when you're following sadhana, sometimes what happens, you get nowhere. You sometimes feel, so many years have passed by, I've been doing sadhana, I don't even know whether I'm improving, because every now and then I'm seeing myself short-tempered, every now and then I'm seeing myself getting involved in my eating habits or my laziness, etc. Then you may develop certain frustration. But if the Guru is there, he will help you if you go and surrender to the Guru. Surrender means surrendering the mind, not the action. Not that the Guru will do all efforts, you will relax. Not that. Guru is there, Guru will take care. मुझे कुछ करने का ज़रूरत नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. You have to do your activities, your sadhana, you only have to do. But when you time and again discuss with Guru, and whether you discuss or not, Guru will know. If you have really surrendered, then the Guru can tell you how to proceed, rather than getting stuck. Sometimes what happens in our over-excitement, we sometimes may do sadhana too much also. That is also not good. Or relax too much. That is also not good. So the Guru will help you to be in the middle path. You understand? So always it helps, because you may get into frustration, you may get into depression, you may get into so many things in life. You may get involved in something. You can even get involved in sadhana itself. So in every angle, the Guru will help you. See, because the Guru has gone through that stage, na? He was also once upon a time a disciple. So he knows what all difficulties a student can face. You understand? So the Guru comes down to your level and helps you slowly, shoulder to shoulder. He'll take you to that ultimate. Inspire you to do the activities. So you must surrender to the Guru, he says. And he says, feet of the Guru. What is this feet significance? And that too, lotus feet, he says. See, lotus represents peace. And ultimately, where is that ultimate peace? It is in self-realization. So lotus here in this context means the ultimate peace, which is liberation, pure consciousness, Atma. And the Guru is one who is established in Atma. And feet takes the Guru from one place to another. So whatever contacts, whatever experiences the Guru may be going through, in all contacts, the Guru is established in the divinity. So it signifies that you should also surrender to that divinity on which the Guru is established and moving around, identifying with the Atma. So to that Atma, you surrender. Guru means Atma, Atma means Guru. There's no difference once a person has realized. You understand? So Guru Charanam Bhuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha. The devotee should surrender to the lotus feet of the Guru. And when you surrender, literally doing prostration, and when you do prostration, you actually lie flat. When you lie flat at the feet of the Guru, which represents divinity, Atma, I already explained to you. The head, which is intellect, and your heart, which is mind, both come in one line. And your entire body also comes in one line. So in other words, my entire life, it symbolizes that my entire life is dedicated for the purpose of liberation. So my body, my mind, my intellect, everything is surrendered to that goal of liberation. My intellect pitches up the goal of self-realization. My mind surrenders to that goal and my body acts in that direction. That's what surrender means. You get focus. Once you pitch up a goal and establish yourself in that goal, there will be tremendous focus. And then you won't dissipate your energy. Many of us, we don't have a goal. We're simply roaming around. See, in the academy, Swamiji talks about standardization. In many things, I'm just giving one gross example. See, we who are into this full time, mostly we are wearing this white and white. White kurta dhoti or white kurta pajama. White or semi-white color. Sometimes we do wear normal pant shirt, very rarely. Otherwise, when you go for a walking, maybe t-shirt and shorts, shoes, etc. So now what happens, if you have decided that this is your goal, this is what you will do, accordingly, you know what clothes to buy, how much you need, how many classes you are taking, so how much you have to keep. Standardized ho gaya, mind will be free. Similarly, if you have some goal in life, accordingly you know what kind of clothes, how much, everything will set itself. Then the mind need not be constantly worried. Every day morning you'll get up and say, what clothes should I wear today? In that only 5 minutes of energy goes waste. So therefore, pitch up a goal. As I said, ultimate goal is self-realization. But the relative goal is self-development. Reduction of tamas and rajas, increase of sattva. Then, what kind of, companionship you should have for that, what kind of lifestyle you should lead. Accordingly, you decide your clothing, your food. Life becomes a little simple. That's what he means. Surrendering to the lotus feet of the Guru, the devotee soon becomes liberated from samsara. When you completely dedicate yourself to the sake of liberation through the body, mind and intellect, you'll be following what he already said, which we have discussed. You'll be doing sadhana, you'll be doing karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, meditation and liberate. Liberation means you'll become free from samsara. See, remember this. As long as you lack awareness, you'll get into bondage. The moment you gain knowledge, you become aware, you will not continue in bondage. Any bondage it may be. I've explained this to you with this example of a mala. I can play about with my mala around my neck which is there. I can play about with it without even looking at the mala and make knots out of it. Right? Without awareness, casually playing with mala, I can make knots out of the mala. Now if I want to remove the knots, I need to look into the mala, focus on the mala, consciously only I can remove the knots. So all the knots that we have made in our life is due to our ignorance, due to our lack of awareness. The more and more you do sadhana and gain knowledge, your awareness level increases, your buddhi starts becoming sharper, you'll be able to think better, you'll be able to discriminate better, and with that awareness and discriminative capacity, you will not get into bondage. You will not. Fresh bondage you will not get into, and old bondage which has been there also will break. That's what samsara means. Samsara means samsarati iti samsara. That which keeps on revolving. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Again birth, again death. Again birth, again death. It's doing the same thing again and again mechanically. Get up in the morning, run. Accumulate. Come back, enjoy. Then run. Accumulate. Then enjoy. Accumulate, enjoy. Then worried, what will happen to my body, etc. This constantly we are lost in this. This is what is called as samsara. That mechanical existence you will not lead anymore. You will lead a conscious, much improved, transformed, conscious living thereafter. So therefore he says, surrendering to the lotus feet of the Guru, the devotee soon becomes liberated from samsara, terrestrial entanglement. He says terrestrial entanglement, which means what? Not that you will run away from the terrestrial world. You will not be entangled in it anymore. See, Abhimanyu in the Mahabharata war knew how to enter the Chakravyuh. He didn't know how to get out. He was entangled. Like that all of us are. Fas gaya. We will start a business and we'll get involved in business. We won't know how to come out of it. We'll start a family, we'll get involved in it, we don't know how to come out of it. It can be even spiritual. You can start some rituals or even Bhagavad Gita class and you will get involved with the students, or students will get involved with the Guru. All that unnecessary entanglements starts. Mental entanglement. When he says entanglement, mental entanglement. The problem is mind getting attached. Nothing wrong if the world is there and you are here and do what you have to do without getting attached. We are like that araldite, super glue they call it, no? There is something called a super glue. By chance if it sticks between your fingers, that's it I believe. It is a very big headache, I believe, to separate. So we are like that. Chipak gaya. Abhi mushkil hai. So that has to be removed. And that is only possible through knowledge. And that is only possible through sadhana and knowledge gaining, through karma, bhakti, jnana and meditation. And all this you are better off doing under the Guru. So we say Guru ke bina impossible. Though very theoretically if you go, you may, but very rare. So you need to have a Guru. Surrender. You decide. In fact, in the Bhagavad Gita it says, when a student is ready, Guru will come to you. You understand? Surrender. And with the Guru, when you surrender, honesty plays a very important role, So Guru is not interested in knowing any gossips or anything. But when you surrender, since he is also gone through such difficulties on the way, he or she, they'll be able to help you better. The challenge can come from the body, challenge can come from the mind, challenge can come from the intellect, from the relationships, it can come from many things. I know there are students in the ashram, for example, who have enrolled themselves for 3 years, who studied with me. Very good students. They traveled almost 2.5 years. Just 6 more months they would have completed the course. Completing course doesn't mean that you have liberated or self-realized or anything. But it gives you a lot of confidence that you took up something, wanting to do 3 years full-time Vedanta, leading a little bit of a spiritual lifestyle. Having come, when you complete, it gives a sense of fulfillment, that yes, I could do. I in fact tell people in the world, especially youngsters and even middle-aged people and all, you slowly get into running marathon, etc. What they do is sometimes they have marathon is actually I think 42 kilometers or so. Half marathon is 21. So I'm not saying you run that much. They will have 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers also. So you just participate. For that you will prepare first of all. And when you prepare, automatically awareness will come. What should I eat? What should I not eat? And then the day you will run and complete that 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers, you will get tremendous satisfaction. Yes, I pitched up a goal, I achieved it, I can do it. That confidence will build. You can self-motivate yourself. You understand? So when you fix up these kind of small targets, and then when you achieve and do it, that motivates you. So that's one way of progressing in life. So nothing like getting self-motivated. For example, every day morning, one of the things that as a tip it is recommended is, as soon as you get up, you make your bed. Don't wait for somebody else to come and make it. As soon as you get up, you make your bed. That itself will give you a lot of satisfaction. Yes, I have accomplished one job, I have done it. And that will wake you up from tamas, It will give you that sense of achievement. You'll be surprised, a small thing like this. So, the Guru will help you take care of all the difficulties that will come in between and then help you to cross the line, liberate. Continuously inspire you, push you towards that. Otherwise, like I said, some students came up to 2.5 years. Or some came up to 2 years and 9 months and dropped out. Just 3 months left. They were struggling, and they dropped out. So, if you discuss with the Guru, help you, which areas you can relax, which area you can, take it forward, etc. So, it helps you. That's why he says you have to surrender to the Guru. See, in the area of ignorance, we must surrender. Like something goes wrong, you need to surrender. Now, in my body actually there is some problem. Now there's kidney stone has been detected, So now, it's 2 weeks. I've been taking some tablets and all. But yesterday I did the scanning. They said it's still there. So 1 more week, doctors have said, let's do medicine and all. Let's see. If it's not gone out, then maybe they'll have to do a small procedure. So that is an area which is ignorant. I'm ignorant in that area. So I need to surrender to the doctors. You can go to 1 or 2 doctors, then finally decide whichever doctor, one doctor, and follow that doctor. You don't take your own decisions. So in the area of ignorance, we need to surrender. Surrender means not surrender the buddhi or surrender the body. Body means action. You have to surrender the mind. Mind is the problem. It wants to do what is convenient, Mind wants to do what is convenient, what is pleasurable, what it likes, what it does not like, it doesn't want to do, doesn't want to go through difficulty. So that you have to surrender. You should say whatever is important for the goal, I will do. So surrender to that goal and follow the intellect's guidance and execute the actions with your body. And that is why he says, even though the Guru's guidance and blessings are very, very important, without Guru's blessings or the totality's blessings, God's grace, it's impossible to move. Because how much ever efforts we may put in, a lot of aspects over which we have no control. So when all these are important, still equally important is your efforts. Your efforts are also equally important. That's why in the end he says, thus through the control of senses and mind, you will behold the Lord seated in your heart. Finally, where is the Atma? Atma is everywhere. But where is to be located? It is to be located within. You got to exhaust all the vasanas and reveal the self from within. Right? So therefore he says, in the heart. Heart in the Vedantic language means core of your personality. Heart of the city. Heart of India is Delhi because capital. Heart of Delhi, you can say Connaught Circle. So like that. Heart of the human personality, Atma. So he says, where is the Atma? Seated in the core of the human personality. So you should control the senses and mind. Without the control of senses, the mind, it is impossible to see the self, to reveal the self, to realize the self. Self-realization is not for lazy, lethargic, indulgent, desire-ridden people. It is for the people who are able to control and direct the mind. You understand? It's not possible otherwise. First, you got to bring in control over the senses. Then you got to bring in control over the mind. Then the self reveals itself. So therefore, you have to do your efforts. A lot of people mistake it. Surrender means we have to surrender the efforts. Like they show in the movie sometimes, a fellow goes to the temple, sings one song, and then swoons and falls there. And the Ganeshji comes out of the temple and he takes up this fellow's form. He will go and write the exam. Nothing like that will happen. You understand? Please be rest assured. You have to put in your efforts. It's very, very important. So, you got to prepare the conscious mind, you got to prepare the subconscious mind, you got to put in the efforts, then the result will come automatically in the due course. That's why he says, liberated from samsara, soon you will become liberated. So, this is another thing, The word soon means, don't be result oriented. You are in the right direction, you will get there. You will have to get there. How will you not get there? See, when you go to some malls and all, you see escalators are there. You go, when you stand on the escalator, you will end up in the first floor or second floor, wherever you have to go. Yes or no? It will take you. All you need to do is get on top of the escalator and wait. You will get there. Am I going? Escalator is moving, you will get there. Similarly, if you are following the sadhana, all this what is said, you will get there. Be patient. Don't be in a hurry. Don't become result oriented there also. Am I realizing? Am I getting closer? How far is it? First of all, a student should not be at all interested how far it is. Even if the goal is nearby, you may not know. You may not know. And you don't have to know. Because when it happens, happens. But if you're so curious, so get attached, then you will not be able to get out. This is what is happening. Result orientation comes in everything, In everything, result orientation comes. Yaha, you should just do sadhana and consistently do it. You will attain liberation. There is no way that you will not attain liberation. You will be moving in the spiritual direction closer and closer to the Atma. So be not concerned about the results. Just be focused in doing your action. That's why he says, through the control of the senses and mind, you will behold the Lord seated in your heart. There's a very interesting story Swamiji says, There were two sages. Let's name them A, B. Sage A was supposed to realize this Janma. Sage B is still to grow, so after 2-3 Janmas, he will liberate. Narad Muni had come from heaven to earth and he saw these two sages while going back in Himalayas. He said, I'm going to Vaikunta. After that, I'll again be coming back after some time. Is there anything I can check with Lord and get back to you? And they said, please check how many more Janmas we have got to liberate. Actually, only Sage B said that. Sage A didn't say. Sage A said, okay, chalo, theek hai. You can find out and come. Same thing. And when Narad Muni came back, he is very mischievous, So what he did, he came to know from Lord Narayana that B is realizing after few Janmas. A is realizing now. He said the ulta to them. He said it in reverse order to them. He told Sage A that you have so many more Janmas. And he said, you see the tamarind tree there? Have you seen the tamarind tree's leaves? They're so small, And there are too many leaves in a tree. He said, if you could count the number of leaves in the tree, that many janmas you've got to liberate. He told this to A, sage A, who actually was supposed to liberate now, this janma. For which the sage replied, oh, thank you very much. It is now come to finite numbers. Thank you. Whereas sage B has few more janmas. To be said, you are liberating now, just now, in this janma. Oh, is it? Oh my God. Then I have not gone to, this world, that experience, this experience. I have not seen Niagara Falls. I have not seen Grand Canyon. I have not gone to Alps. I have not gone to this. I have not gone to that. So let me go enjoy all that. Because after liberation, I'm told that I will not be born again. You understand? So what does it mean? It means your attention is still on the world. That's why you have some other janma, more janmas. The attention should be uncompromising attention, unprostituting, uncompromising attention. Single pointed. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, Adi Shankaracharya, in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, verse number 22, chapter 9, which is considered as the central verse of the Bhagavad Gita. He says, you should have single pointed focus upon Atma. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yoga kshemam vahami aham. He says, for a person who single pointedly identifies and worships me, meaning keeping self-realization as the goal and functions, single pointedly. Anya chinta means other thought. Chinta means thought. Anya chinta means other thought. Ananya chinta means no other thought. With no other thought, single pointedly, whoever focuses on the Atma, as you think, so shall you become, is the law. So the fact that the person is so much focusing on the Atma, the person will liberate, become Atma. So, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paryupasate, who worships me, who identifies with me and does all the sadhana. Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. To those people who are constantly united through the body, mind and intellect with the Atma, I give them Yoga and Kshema. Again, Yoga and Kshema here means what? Attaining what has not been attained and preserving what has been attained. This is both spiritual and material you will be achieving. You will attain union with the self also. You will also be having wonderful life in this world and you will liberate yourself. So, in short, what we need to understand is Guru's grace, Guru's direction, Ishvara Kripa, all are very, very important. So surrender, keep that company. The best company you can have is Guru. Because Guru doesn't want anything. Even you surrendering to the Guru is only for your sake. Guru doesn't want your surrender. If he or she wants your surrender, then that person is not true Guru. You understand? They are completely paripurna. What is that they can get? When you become the ocean, how much ever water going into the ocean or how much ever water is taken away makes no difference. Similarly, a Guru who's reached the ultimate, who's liberated, wants nothing. If at all a Guru would want something, he would want you also to liberate. You also to see that vision, to have that paripurnatva. That's all the Guru would want, nothing else. So when you go to such a person, keep company. It's a fascinating company you can have which will help you to put in your sadhana and liberate. And also the blessings of the Guru. See, the good thoughts always matters. Because they create a conducive environment. That's why in the weddings, see, you cannot make a person paripurna in a temporary way till they liberate, till they realize the self. But one temporary method is there. What is that? Give them as much food as you can. All tasty, different variety of food and let them feed themselves fully. Only in food, when you say, और ये खाओ, नहीं, full हो गया, बहुत संतुष्ट हो गया भाई, बहुत संतुष्ट हो गया. They're very happy. At that time, you suddenly fall at their feet and take their blessings. So they are paripurna, no? So they'll bless you with all good feelings, which will give you conducive effect. Doesn't mean that if you get such blessings from all these people, that your marriage will be not having any ups and downs. That depends on how you work also. But the blessings will work as a conducive atmosphere. You understand? So the blessings of the parents, blessings of the guru, blessings of the elderly people, blessings of good souls, all are important for us. You understand? And the direction that I talked about through surrendering, taking guidance, after all that, you also need to put in efforts. Your efforts matter a lot. Therefore, he says, control the senses, control the mind, sharpen the buddhi, do the sadhana, get back to the self. And you will get back because you are on the track. If you do all this, you will get back. Yoga kshemam vahami aham, said the Bhagavad Gita. You will attain spiritual good as well as material good. You will attain liberation and you will be established in that liberation. You have not attained liberation, so you will attain that. And you will get established in that. It will be preserved because once you have attained, there is no way of taking it back. Once you have reached any level, you can't come back from that level. So your established means established. That's what Gita says. Yad gatva nani vartante. A person who's gone to that state is no more coming back. So once you break the samsara, you will not again get back to samsara. Once you have broken all the vasanas, then what happens? Only because of prarabdha vasanas, the body continues. And the prarabdha vasanas are also gone, you become totally liberated. Thereafter, there is no more birth. When you gain the knowledge, liberate yourself from exhausting all the sanchita vasanas, you attain jivan mukti. Thereafter, you continue existing only with prarabdha vasanas. Once the prarabdha vasanas are so exhausted, that will get exhausted through experience. Then you die, meaning the physical body is given up. Initially, the ego was given up. Now the physical body is also given up. Then there is no more birth. Such a person, once established in divinity, once established in reality, thereafter there is no more birth. That's it. So you will attain liberation, moksha. You have broken the chain of samsara, cycle of birth and death. That's all he says. That's how you should proceed. That's how he concludes Bhaja Govindam. Now, we have gone through Bhaja Govindam, but how much of Bhaja Govindam has gone through us, we don't know. Into us, we don't know. So we humbly tell ourselves that we have only begun the study. We have to continue studying till we get back to the self. So therefore, with humility, we tell ourselves we have just begun. So symbolically, we'll chant Bhaja Govindam Shloka number 1, which is anyway a chorus to conclude.
Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. Samprapte sannihite kale, nahi nahi rakshati dukrin karane.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyairva Buddhyatmana va Prakriti Swabhavat Karomi Adyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayana Yeti Samarpayami.